Cyclone Narelle expected to deliver a devastating blow to Australia on tonight's tropical weather bulletin. Tropical weather bulletin for March 18th. On the map of world tropics, we have two storms active. Cyclone Narelle, currently a Category 1 and is expected to make landfall in northern Queensland on Thursday night or Friday morning as a Category 4. We also have an extremely rare Mediterranean storm that is nearing landfall in Libya. Here is the forecast for Narelle. We currently have it with winds of 80 miles per hour and a pressure of 976 millibars. We have it reaching Category 2 status soon and continuing the rapid intensification trend up to landfall and will likely strike either Thursday night or Friday morning as 140 miles per hour. Category 4 is what we're expecting. JTWC running a bit lower at 1:30. We expect it to re-intensify to Category 2 status as it makes its second landfall. On the naming list, the first names in the Atlantic are Arthur and Bertha, Eastern Pacific, Amanda and Boris, in Central Pacific, Lala and Moki. The next name in the Western Pacific is Senlaku, followed by Hagapid. In the North Indian Ocean, it is Arnab, followed by Murasu. In the Southwest Indian Ocean, the next name is Indusa, followed by Jaluka. South Pacific next name is Viyanu, followed by Wadi. In the Australian region, the next name is Oran, followed by Pita. Indonesian department, Simpaka, followed by Dalia. In the South Atlantic, the next name is Kyoba, followed by Indi.
So here we are in HAFSA. I believe this is the most reasonable model run. Right here, 980 millibars around the time we're at right now. And you can see this strengthening all the way up to right here, 938 millibars, 130 knots, 150 miles an hour. And that is fairly likely. I'd say 150 miles an hour can't be ruled out. Our forecast is still going with 140. We're still playing low ball with this right now. But yeah, this storm does move in the Gulf of Carpentaria. It does weaken to a tropical storm. It does re-strengthen, however, 85 knots. That is a Category 2. And makes that landfall. And it doesn't show it on this, but model runs, and I believe this is probably going to happen, is this storm is going to move back out over the Indian Ocean and re-strengthen somewhere around here. And I think GFS has it swinging around into southern Australia. So that's something to watch out for in the long run, but right now we are more focused on northern Queensland because I believe this is going to be the strongest storm to hit this area, at least 140. If that happens, I believe this will be the strongest storm to hit this area of Queensland since Mahina, which was 127 years ago. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I believe that I think it is going to be the strongest storm to hit since Mahina. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it is. Here's satellite imagery. Definitely dealing with some wind shear to its south at this point, because of these deteriorating cloud tops on the entire southern side. And the fact that these cloud tops in the center that were previously looping around the eye have been unable to progress past this point. That is usually a sign of wind shear, and these sharp gradients, it usually means that those clouds are just being sheared and they're being completely unaffected up here, so you see those sharp gradients. This little thing right here, this is the eye. Visible imagery, it is quite clear, not very clear on infrared, but it is clear on visible imagery. And I imagine we will see that eye continue to poke out as it moves into a much more favorable environment. The environment currently is quite warm. As you can see, 29 degrees Celsius, it's 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And just going to continue that trend of 28, 29 waters all the way up to landfall. And then in the Gulf of Carpentaria, again, this is the main reason we have quite a bit more re-strengthening than the officials. 29 to 30 degrees Celsius waters, that is 84 to 86 Fahrenheit. And these waters over here are what we're particularly concerned about when it gets back over, because it's likely going to be somewhere between here and here is where it's going to come out. And that entire range has between 29 to 31 degrees Celsius waters, that is 84 to 88 Fahrenheit. So that is no bueno if that happens. This storm very well could become a major again on the other side of Australia. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but that's too far out to really be talking about. At that point, we're at least 7 days out. So that's a little iffy to be talking about. One thing I do want to look at real quick is the wind shear. You can see off to the southern side, it's not extremely horrible, but it is obviously dealing with some. Where's right now? We are around here. You can see off to the southern side here, you do have some relatively severe wind shear. This is the storm that's causing this wind shear here, so ignore that. But off to the southern side down here, we have, from the looks of it, like 25 to 30 knot wind shear, which is actually fairly severe. So that's happening. This down here explains why the South Pacific has been dead this entire year, but regardless. So it is dealing with some wind shear to its south, and that is inhibiting the storm's ability to strengthen, which is good, because that probably means it will not be as strong by the time it gets to Australia, although I wouldn't have high hopes because this thing is intensifying quite quickly. It is still intensifying. The satellite imagery is continuing to progress. It's just a small bump in the road. But that's about it for Narelle. We also have a subtropical storm in the Mediterranean Sea. I cannot for the life of me find an infrared image of that, but here's a visible image of it. So that's it for this tropical weather bulletin. We hope everything goes well with Narelle. I didn't even realize that rhymed. But that's it for this tropical weather bulletin. Like, subscribe, and